What's going on, guys? Karl from The Obsessions. November 3rd here in southern Wisconsin. We got some footage from Zack Curran, Shawn Devitt, Brian Kleppe, and Andy Straka. Andy Straka is one of Shawn's buddies. Lives right out next to Shawn. Their property's actually adjoined, I believe. And they went out to North Dakota where me, Big Mike, Ron Webster, and Bob Top usually go. They went a little bit earlier. They were there in mid-October. And seen a lot of animals. We're going to show you guys that. A bunch of different animals. Going to be some antelope, going to be some elk, and obviously mule deer. These guys got their mule deer tags this year. So they get an opportunity there. You're going to actually see Shawn take a mule deer. Two different times when we go out there, from when we are there in November, mid-November, to when they were there in October. And when you go on an out-of-state hunt, you know you have to hunt the animals that you have to hunt. These guys get an opportunity at a nice buck. Shawn takes a nice buck with his bow at 45 yards. So you guys are going to see that hunt coming up. That being said, a lot of the guys are hunting now, obviously in the tree. For those of you who don't know or don't see our Facebook stuff, I was actually able to harvest the buck I call Shocker. I'm going to show you guys some pictures. I had some camera issues. In other words, I took Tacticams, swear I turned it on, hit the button, whatever, it ends up, it didn't record the shot itself. All the stuff before the shot, that all finished up really nice, but so I don't have the shot itself on film. I'm going to show you guys some of the pictures of the deer. This is the deer I've been chasing all year. We're going to talk a little bit about him at the end of the show, but we're going to bring you guys this mule deer hunt right away. Show that to you. Also, I recently filmed a doe hunt. I'm going to bring that to you here within the next week or two. Shot a doe for one of the people that I work with off of my property. I need to take a few antlerless deer off the property now that I'm done buck hunting. I figured it was time to take a couple does off, so that's what I started doing. So I'm taking does out on the Triple B right now. Take a few more out just to kind of equal the numbers a little bit. We have had opportunities last night. My nephew Cody took a buck we call Judas Priest. You guys seen a bunch of pictures of Judas and some video footage that I have taken. I let him go a few times. Really nice deer, and he was ecstatic being able to take that deer, so he was excited as heck. We'll show you guys that deer. But like I said, here right now, the rut's going really well here in southern Wisconsin. You guys get a chance, you should be in the tree definitely this week until probably the 5th or 6th. Temperatures are going to start to rise, but it is the rut, just so you're aware. The deer are going to move. Obviously, mornings right now, if you're a moon phase guy, mornings are a pretty big deal right now with the moon phase that we're in. The deer, for me, I haven't done a ton of calling. The little bit of calling I have done, the deer have come right to me. So something you might want to think about is tending sequences and things like that. Decoys this time of year are not something I would probably get into. Maybe a doe decoy might work. You'll have to try that, but there's going to have to be some movement on that decoy, otherwise he's going to be alert when he comes in. They're not just going to walk in for that. So one of the wagging tails, electric wagging tails or something like that may work pretty well. But we're going to get to this hunt with Zack, Brian, and Shawn, and we're going to show you guys what they seen out west, and this was mid-October in North Dakota. So check this on out. Thanks for watching the episode.
everyone. Zack Curran here with Rush Outdoor Session TV show. Second day in our mule deer hunting trip. So far we have nothing. It was 78 degrees, a little, around noon, 1-ish. Kind of spread out. Just kind of sitting down waiting for the deer to come to us, I guess. I haven't really seen a buck yet, but I just sat down on a spot here and I got to looking up the hill and I can see one laying up there on the hillside. I'm guessing he watched me walk in and sit down. It's kind of a tough spot to get to, so I'm just gonna leave him and hopefully he comes down to me. So see what happens. I'm just sitting on the ground tonight, seeing what I can mess up. So I got the wind in my favor, got water behind me. Should be a good night. So stay tuned. See how he's laying just to the left of that pine tree up there. Last one where the sun's hitting the top of it. He's just a little low and left of that pine tree. Hey everyone, just giving you a little update. It's about 6 o'clock. I think sunset starts at 6:30, dark at 7. So I'm sitting here, right when I got here, I spotted a buck up on top of the hill. It's like a 2x3, but when he got up, he looked like a big body deer. He got up. He's been looks like he's been watching us all day. So he got up, went over the hill, and I didn't go after him because he's kind of up by the fence there. So, but I thought about cutting up the hill here. I was like, I'll just sit here and see what happens. So while I'm sitting here, I think I spotted a doe come out of some other pine trees, kind of where he was. Then 2 other bucks got up, so it's kind of interesting to see. Got the camera pointing this way. Got that moon back there. There's a porcupine over there.
Must have went down off the other side. Is it the back one?
It's the one on the right.
Is it the back one?
It's the one on the right.
He's dead. He's done.
He's done.
He's done.
There he goes.
Got him. He's done.
Good shot.
One punched him. Look at that giant.
Yeah, he does have 3 on each side.
Look at that tank.
Heck yeah.
I'm cool with that. After this week, been a hell of a week. Look how big just the bodies are.
They're big.
You know, like should have been your deer, Zach. But you didn't bring your bow.
That'll happen.
But I'm cool with it. Pretty happy about it, to be honest. It was a 45-yard shot and went down right away. So definitely double punched the lungs and bubbles everywhere. And whatnot, so.
They didn't go far.
No, he didn't go far. Been one hell of a week too.
Alright, we're going to show you guys the deer I call Shocker. I'm going to show you guys the deer I call Shocker. It's my number one for the year. It's got a big old, well, it's got a double main beam on one side, big 5 on another side. A 4.5, 5.5 year old deer. Well, we're having him checked right now for age to actually give us a real number. Nice big bodied deer. He came in on a doe October 27th. The doe came through first and at 37 yards, and he ended up coming back down. Now I had to do a little bit of calling. Grunted at him a couple times. He looked, and then he turned and started coming down where the doe was. His doe had crossed through first, and she snuck off into the east in some buckthorn that I had on that side of the food plot. This is the clover plot on the furthest west side of my property, and there's a little oak tree in front of me, and there's scrapes all the way around that. There's got to be 7 or 8 scrapes in that little itty bitty food plot. It was like a 1/4 acre. So got a lot of pictures of my bigger deer in there, and he was one of them. It was 3:45 p.m. and he came down in there, gave me a 37-yard shot. I put it right on his shoulder, let drive. I missed the knuckle of the scapula by about an inch and 1/4, and it went in the deer, clear to the other side. The arrow broke off, and the shaft came back out of the deer after about 2 or 3 steps when he took off running. So I was all tweaked up. I didn't really know what was going to happen. I was scared to death that I had just shot him right square in the shoulder blade, but it ends up it was right where I had aimed. I go over there to check for the deer. There's no blood. It drops off into a little ravine behind there, or a pretty good sized ravine. And I go back up the tree stand, sit there and kind of think about what I had done, and I knew I had made a good shot. Watched the arrow actually hit the deer where I wanted it to, so I got back down and went back down and around, come back around the backside. His doe was actually still down there, so she takes off running. Well, here I think that it was the bigger buck again, and so I went back up to the tree stand again, all angry with myself, and I probably sat there for about 35-40 minutes. I'd been texting back and forth with Big Mike. He was actually there hunting with me. He was down the valley a ways, and I told him, I'm like, if that deer shows up and he's injured, you make sure you kill him. And thought about it and figured, well, I better go find blood, broad daylight, so I could go see what I had. So I get around the backside, get down in the ravine, and in the bottom of the ravine I find a speck of blood, and it looks like really good lung blood. Because there was no exit wound, I hit the exact offside scapula, and the broadhead was actually stuck right in it. I look down at that blood, and I look up, and here the deer's laying there on its side 10 yards away from me, just up it. So he went about 50 yards. And I had heard that, but I was having a hard time in my mind because the arrow had popped out, and I didn't find any blood. Sometimes I go into that, back out safety mode where you just kind of gotta just back away and then come back in later if you were totally unsure. But like I said, I went down 45 yards, 50 yards in the bottom where I found that blood, and he had completely filled up, and there was blood everywhere where he was laying. He was blowing out the nose, a good double lung shot. So I'm going to show you guys these pictures of this deer. Obviously wish I would have got it on video, but sometimes when you're self-filming you'll have this, and that's what happened. Also did not bring the big camera that day. I was going to hunt with just the Tacticams. We do that a lot out in North Dakota, so I'm testing my system, so that's what was going on. So anyhow, this is some pictures of my biggest deer. Well, not my biggest deer, but Shocker, the biggest deer I was hunting, my number one on my property this year. So I appreciate all the support you guys have given us here at Rush Outdoors, and I appreciate all the compliments and everything for taking the deer on Facebook and YouTube. If you guys get a chance, please subscribe to the channel. We're bringing you new hunts every week. We got a bunch of guys, good people that are filming. Hopefully you guys will enjoy what we're doing and continue to enjoy what we're doing. Just like everybody else, we're regular working guys. We all have jobs, and we get out like you do. Spend a ton of time on our properties, prepping everything, getting everything the way we want. And when a story like this comes together with like a Shocker, It's an awesome experience and makes you want to go back and do more. So, like I said, we appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for watching The Obsession.